Started to get into grazing because we're running short on space in the barn, and it was nice to get them out on the ground, and we had areas that were hard to crop anyway, and it worked good for pasture. And they responded well. They do a lot nicer and look a lot nicer when they're out in the ground.
The way our farm's set up, all our land is in one area, one block. So we had a lot of areas, like you said, that we couldn't farm conventionally, that with the pasture and grazing, we got more value out of the property. When we get the cows out on the pasture, that cover crop can be used for a production crop for feed, and we gain an extra 6 weeks average of additional grazing with the cover crops. And it takes pressure off the rotational grazing in fall.
And let the pastures grow back so that on the crop land they're not going to damage anything or hurt anything, where it does the pastures better to grow back and get a little bit established again before winter.
Putting a fence around the exterior of the farm, including the cover crops and the row crops, now we have the opportunity to utilize that land more for the benefit of the cows and the feed.
It gives us more options and more space to move them out in, and like I said, the extra feed, but also just the extra space too to move them around, and the options of flexibility of doing something else with them.
By having a fence around the farm and the crops, if we do have a crop failure, a drought, or just a reason to terminate the crop, we can pasture it, or even just to trim it down, we can pasture the animals on and get the benefit of the feed that is there, the crop. Putting the cows out on pasture, we've seen, the actual demeanor of the animals too. They're much more tamer. You'd think the opposite, more like a wild animal, but now they come to greet us every day. And yes, the overall health of the animals seems to be a lot nicer.